friends, it is Stasia and welcome back to my channel. I'll be completely honest, I already filmed this and then I started editing and realized I didn't like it, so we are here and we are re-filming. But with that being said, as you can tell by the title, today we will be going over my reading plans for the month of September. So a couple months ago, I actually decided that I'm not really going to do TBRs anymore, like TBR videos, mainly because I feel like it kind of restricts me and it makes me not want to read anything, because I'm like, wow, I feel like I should be reading all of these that I said I was going to read in this video. So I just decided that I'm not going to make TBR videos regularly, but this is not a regular month, so I did want to come on and share with you guys because there are a couple readathons that I'm planning on doing. So the first readathon that I'm not really going to go over a TBR or anything, but just wanted to mention that I am kind of co-hosting a readathon called the Dark Academiathon, and that will be running from September 10th to the 24th. There's tons of prompts. I have an announcement video down below that I will leave linked if you do want to check that out, but like I said, I'm not really creating a TBR for that. I'm kind of just going to see how that goes because there's a lot of prompts and it's only 2 weeks long, so I don't have an actual TBR for that. But there is another readathon I'm doing that is hosted by my friend Ellie, and it is for her birthday. She did it last year, but I wasn't super into like this genre yet, so I didn't participate. I mean, I think I did like very briefly though. So this year I'm going to go full swing into it, and this is the sports romance readathon, and I have come to love and appreciate a good sports romance, so I'm really excited for that. So this will take place from September 16th to the 31st. Super excited. So this one has 6 prompts, and all of this I do have a TBR for. So out of these 6 prompts, 5 of them are on my Kindle because that's where I have most of my sports romance, but then I do have one that is a physical read. So the first prompt is your favorite sport, and for that I will be reading Fighter's Heart by A. Rivers. Now, I don't really have a favorite sport per se. I don't really watch or play anything, but this is an MMA romance, and I have watched a few MMA because that is probably the sport that my husband is most into. So I've watched a couple MMA like rounds and stuff. Those are always super fun. So I guess that is a sport I'm most familiar with, aside from like the normal like American football and stuff like that. So I chose this. I'm honestly not entirely sure what it's about. I just know it's an MMA romance and I'm here for it. I read my first MMA romance earlier this year, which was 5 Rounds and 2 Fights by Nikki Castle. Super loved it, so I'm excited for this one. The next prompt is sport you don't watch, which, like I said, could be anything. So for this, I chose a hockey romance, and that is Dirty Secret by Mira Lynn Kelly. Again, don't know anything about it. I honestly just went through the books I owned on my Kindle and seen what was sports related, and that's how I really chose my TBR. So this is a hockey romance. I've never seen a hockey game. I've never met anyone who's played hockey, so I'm very unfamiliar with hockey. The only hockey I know is the one I read in books, so it fits. I don't really have a favorite sport, so anything goes for me. The next one is Player to Prince, so someone where he was a bad boy, a player, and then meets a girl and is suddenly like head over heels for her. And for that, I'm going with Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I know this is a Player to Prince because in the first book in this series, it happened one summer, which I read in August. Our main character here, which is Fox, he very much does have that like player vibe. So if he goes with our main character here, Hannah, then I definitely think that it is a Player to Prince sort of vibe. And fishing is a sport to me, so it does still have the sports element. So super excited for this. I don't know how I'm going to hold this off until the 16th when the readathon starts, but I'm going to have to try my best. And then the next prompt is Fake Dating or Marriage. Oh, I have another physical book. And for that, I'm doing Take a Hint, Danny Brown. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, this was on my TBR, but I don't think this has a sport. So I'm not entirely sure. But this was a book directly recommended by Ellie. So I'll need to double check on this. And then if this does not end up having a sport, then I'll need to change this. But as of now, for my fake dating or marriage, it is Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. I read the first book, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and super enjoyed it. I don't know why I've never continued with the series. So excited for this if it features a sport. If not, I'll figure it out. Then the next prompt is favorite trope. And for that, I chose Rushing Into Love by Kara Kendrick. The trope that I'm going based off of this, I don't actually know what like everything is, but it is tagged as a small town sports romance, and I really have come to love small town romances, so that is a favorite trope of mine now. And then the last book is one that Ellie has read, and for that I chose Scoring Off the Ice by Stacey Lynn. I've already read Stacey Lynn before and loved her, so I felt like this was a safe play. As you can tell by the title, it is another hockey romance. So super excited for that. Super excited for these. So excited for all the sports romance. And yeah, so that is the other readathon I'm going to do. And then before I get into the last readathon that I'm planning on doing, I did want to quickly mention there are 2 potential vlogs that I do want to do in the month of September. I'm not entirely sure if I'll get to either of them or both of them, but we'll see. So I just wanted to quickly run by and see maybe you guys prefer one set of books over another set of books. And yeah, I'm not really going to tell you the concept because that doesn't really matter. But for the first vlog, if I end up doing it, the first book would be Take a Hint, Danny Brown. And then it would be Aurora's End by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And then the last book for that vlog would be As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. And then the second potential vlog would be The Night Swim by Megan Golden. And then A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. And lastly for that vlog would be Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. So those are the 2 potential vlogs I have. If you prefer one vlog over the other, you can let me know in the comments. I'm going to try to do both of them. I'm hoping that September will be a very good month. I had a pretty great reading month in August, so I'm hoping to keep riding the wave of that. So that is that. And then, yeah, so now we'll go over to the last readathon that I'm hoping to do in the month of September. And that is Becca's bookoplathon. If you don't know what that is, it is a readathon based on Becca. She has a monthly TBR game that she plays, which is based off of Monopoly. And so every year she has a full month-long round in September, and then she has 48-hour rounds throughout the year. I've participated in every single round, so we're gonna do it again, and I vlogged every single round. So I'm hoping that September I'll do weekly vlogs, but not entirely sure. We're just gonna have to see how that goes. So since we're doing Becca's bookoplathon, I did want to just kind of give you guys some insight on what I actually have. So on my chance cards, I chose 10 books that I physically own that I would ideally love to read at some point soon. But some of them are pretty big. So we're gonna see what ends up happening. But before we get into my rolls, I did want to let you guys know what my chance card books are if I do end up landing on that. So at least we know what are the potentials, what I could choose. So we're just gonna go through these really quick. So the first one I have is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. She's a big one, but she's a romance. I have never read Lucy Score before, but I've heard that this book and this author is amazing, so I am hoping to get to this at some point. Then I have His and Hers by Alice Feeney. Besides her most recent Daisy Darker, this is the only Alice Feeney I have not read yet. So I do want to read this at some point and complete her backlist. And then read Daisy Darker in the same way that I read The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, where I have a whole dedicated vlog for that. So not sure what this is. Probably like a domestic thriller. She's great at that. Then I have A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm honestly not super excited for this one. She's a big one, and I really was not a fan of the first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses. So not super excited for this, but everyone's saying that I need to at least read this book before I completely like knock off the whole series. So we're going for this. And then the next one I have is The Switch by Beth O'Leary. I read her other book that I cannot remember the name. Oh, I read The Flat Share by her. Super enjoyed it. I have not read another book by this author, so I put this on the list. Next I have This Is War by Kennedy Fox. This is a duet. The other one is This Is Love. So if I do end up picking this and want to continue the duet, I already own the other book. Not sure what this is about. Dual perspective, romance, that's all I know. Then I have Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahurin. I read the first two books, which is Serpent and Dove and then Blood and Honey. I enjoyed both of them. Lots of people did not enjoy Blood and Honey and did not enjoy this one. So I'm not sure where I will land on this one, but she's also a big girl, so we'll see what happens if I get to that one. Then I have My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I read my first Tessa Bailey last month in August, which was It Happened One Summer. Absolutely loved it. I also have Hook, Line, and Sinker on my TBR for this month, but a lot of people said My Killer Vacation is not really great, so I'm hesitant, but I'm also going in with the expectations that it might not be great. So if I do pick that, then this will be this. Then I have Memories by Lang Leave. This is a poetry collection. I've read a few of her other books, so I would like to get to this one as well. Then I have The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This is a deserted island wedding that turns deadly. Very highly raved about, so hopefully I'll get to it at some point. And then the last potential chance card I have is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. I actually don't know what this book is about, but this is the last Colleen Hoover that I own physically. I have not read her entire backlist, but this is the last one that I own physically that I haven't read, so I went ahead and put this on the list as well. So those are the 10 potential books on my chance cards. Now we'll get into my rolls. Okay, so here is the little strawberry boba that we will be working with. She's really cute. I lost my Groot. That's sad, but it's fine. So we'll put her down there on go. Here are the dice. So the first one we have is a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is automatically a chance card, which is already terrifying. Okay, so here are all of the chance cards, books on the back. So we will shuffle it a little bit and see where we end up. I'm actually so nervous. And we have His and Hers by Alice Feeney. Perfect. Alright, so roll 1 was already a chance card, and for that chance card I ended up picking His and Hers by Alice Feeney, which I'm very happy that it wasn't one of the big ones, but I'm super excited to read this one. This is a lot of people's favorite Alice Feeney, so I'm excited to get to it. I just don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I know it's going to be fast-paced, so I'm excited to get to it, but I'm nervous that it might not be as hyped or like as good as the hype makes it seem. But Alice Feeney has not let me down yet, so I'm not entirely nervous. I've just been putting it off because it's literally everyone's favorite. But that's the first on the bookoplathon TBR. Alright, so we ended on the chance, and I'll go ahead and roll again. And now we have another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is published or set in the year 2020. And then the next roll that I got was published or set in 2020. So I just went ahead and did the Night Swim. I got this from Book of the Month in August of 2020. So yeah, I don't know too much about this. I know it's dual timeline. I believe there's like a podcast element. I heard that the audiobook is really good, so I'm going to probably try to get the audiobook. But that's about all I know about this one, so there's that. And then we'll go ahead and do one more roll. And that is another 7. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is emoji. So I will have to randomize that. And then the last roll that I got was emoji, and then I got this emoji, the flower. So I chose You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle. Not sure if that's how you say her name. I mainly did it for one, the color is like a pink purpley, which is the cover of this book, and there's also flowers on the cover, so I feel like it counted for the emoji. So all I know is this is a romance. I believe they were engaged, and then something happens, they call the engagement off, and then somewhere along the way end up back together. Not entirely sure, but I believe it's like a lovers to enemies, back to lovers type of situation. Super small, go through romance pretty quick, so I'm pretty excited about this one. So yeah, so these are the first 3 books on my bookoplathon TBR. Like I said, I am going to try to do the weekly vlogs that I've done during the other rounds. So I just wanted to roll a few rolls just to give myself some bearings, see where I'm at. And then after these 3 books, I will be rolling as I go. So if you want to see what I'll be picking out for bookoplathon, you'll need to watch my vlogs and see how my rolls go there. But these are the first 3 books of bookoplathon, and I'm actually super excited to get to them. So hopefully September will come pretty quick. But yeah, so that's my TBR. Lots of fun things coming. Super excited for the month of September. I think that my reading will be great. Hopefully, I've been on a good roll, so hopefully that comes and transfers over into September as well. But yes, so that is all I have for today. You can like, comment, and subscribe down below if you would like. All of my socials, follow me anywhere else, as well as anything mentioned will be in the description down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!